What is going on Facebook? Karl from the Obsession. It is the 18th of November here in southern Wisconsin, and I am going to bring you guys a couple buck hunts. One with Shawn Devitt and one with myself. Buck I call Brawler that I had taken on the 16th of October. I was fortunate enough that this deer came in. I was debating on whether or not I'd shoot this deer. I don't know why I was debating, but he's actually a pretty good buck. Matter of fact, I got him right here. So you guys can see, and he's a pretty nice buck. Mainframe 11. Gave me a good opportunity. You guys are going to see what happens on that hunt. But first, we're going to actually have a hunt that took place on November 3rd, I believe, 2nd, 3rd, November 3rd here in southern Wisconsin with Rush Outdoors and the Obsession Pro staff member Shawn Devitt. Great buck that he's had plenty of history with. A buck he called Wolverine. Matter of fact, it's the only deer he's ever named. Because of the first picture, you guys will see the whole story. I'll let the story tell it, but it's a really nice buck. I ended up scoring him at 162 inches. You can see I'm actually in my office here. Going to be editing up the show that I'm going to bring to you guys right now in this intro. Getting ready for North Dakota. So me and some of the staff guys are heading out to North Dakota this weekend. Well, everybody in Wisconsin is gun hunting here. We're usually out west chasing muleys with our bows. So we'll be bringing that hunt to you guys here probably in a few weeks. We got a bunch of buck hunts. A lot of guys actually saw some really nice deer this year. Latest one was last Saturday evening. Coleman Kleppy, 12-year-old, Brian's son Cole. Took a 13-pointer on film with a decoy on the property that we have down in southwestern Wisconsin that Brian and I have. And he was fortunate enough to get this deer to come in. Really nice buck. The young man has done well the past 2 years. He shot one with me. Buck he called Bogey last year, and this year he shot this 13-pointer. We didn't name him. Just one of the deer that shows up down there. So what's going on in the woods right now here in southern Wisconsin? So the rut is pretty much winding down. There's still bucks out there searching. But they're actually, this buck that Cole shot ended up coming right up to a decoy. And more or less just to hang out with another buck than to confront the decoy or anything like that. So you guys will see that footage when it comes out, but pretty cool stuff. Guys are still shooting deer, a few good bucks here and there, a few does. People are taking out some does, opportunity to do that. But gun season coming. Weather looks like it's going to be pretty good for everybody here in Wisconsin. So you guys go out and be safe, have a good time. Some of the people will be filming for us, so we'll bring those gun hunts to you also. We're also going to have some of the Minnesota guys coming up here shortly in the next couple weeks. They took some really nice bucks on film, 3 bucks up in Minnesota that were taken, one with a bow, or 2 with a bow and 1 with a gun. Really good stuff there. So stick around for that. We still got 1 or 2 guys that have tags here in Wisconsin that are bow hunting, trying hard to get their deer down. We'll see what happens there, and then of course North Dakota. We'll see what happens there. If you guys want to check with us on the Facebook, we'll definitely be in and off of Facebook. We'll be going live out west if we can. Be doing some of that stuff. Just kind of show you guys the terrain we're hunting in out there. It's all spot and stock. Mule deer tag, it's actually an either-or tag, mule deer or whitetail buck or doe. Obviously we're trying to chase bucks, but you know, who knows what'll happen the end of the week if somebody doesn't have a filled tag. We have shot doe out there before for the meat. It's actually really good where we go. We're hunting western North Dakota, darn near Montana, so it should be a good time. Stick around for that. But like I said, on this show right now, we're definitely going to be showing you 2 buck hunts. Brawler, a buck that I took, and Wolverine, a buck that Shawn Devitt took, and it's really good stories on both of them. So I hope you guys enjoy these hunts. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate all your guys' support. It's been 15 years now for the Rush Outdoors and the Obsession, and we really, really appreciate you guys watching. going over really well here in Wisconsin. Definitely getting noticed out east, and now some out west also. So we appreciate all the support for everybody. If you get a chance to check out our sponsors or our partners, be sure to check them out. You know, Vortex Optics, QAD, Black Eagle Arrows, Obsession Bows, Blocker Outdoors. Just there's a ton of them. So be sure to check out all the equipment we're using. If you guys have any questions or anything, you can get a hold of me here at Rush Outdoors. Obviously, here for the next few weeks, I'll be out and about and busy trying to film. I'm actually going to try and take a buck, film my gun tag when I get back during muzzleloader season with my bow. So we have that lesser weapon rule here in Wisconsin. I'm going to try and utilize that. I am going to be running cameras over gun season on some of my properties to see if the deer are giving me an opportunity. How's that sound? We'll see what the deer are moving. We've got some good brassicas, plots, and things like that, so I'm hoping that when I come back I'll have an opportunity to try and fill that tag. So be sure to check that out also. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to get them a hold of me at Facebook, or feel free to ask any questions right here on YouTube. Like I said, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all your guys' support. I'll catch you after the hunts.
I shot the biggest buck of my life. Oh my God. Thank you. I have been after this buck for 4 years. I have been working this land for 5 years. And I've just never seen deer like that. You know, they'd come through, but never get shots at them. And this buck 2 years ago ran this ridge, and I put this stand up last year, and I never really hunted it. It's really uncomfortable, and only to my east side here is you know, you sit higher, but to the west you're only like 10 feet off the ground. And I don't know, I wasn't gonna come this morning. We had an east wind, but he started showing up on my cameras last night, and I noticed it was last Sunday, and you know, just anytime he shows up on camera, he's out and he's running around. Last Sunday, he was out running around at noon and at 4 o'clock, and I was sitting 100 yards and I couldn't get a shot. I didn't even see him. And this morning, I mean, I don't even know what time it is. It's 7 o'clock. I don't freaking know what the time changed. But I just looked down below me here, and he was down in the ridge, and I'm like, oh my God, he's coming. It's about, I don't know, 7:15 this morning. It was real calm out. It was nice. There was a little bit of an east-southeast wind, which, you know, out here I've got a stand that I put up 2 years ago for this deer that I named Wolverine, because he ran this ridge on our west side all the time, and haven't sat in it much, but we had a southeast east wind this morning, so that stand is perfect. It's a little pinch point between the fields and you know, my place. And I started getting pictures last night of this buck. Haven't seen him in a week, or had pictures of him in a week, but he was all over out here last night. So I knew I had to get in the stand this morning, and you know, it was about 7:15, like I said, and I looked down on the ridge below, and here he is, and I glassed him, and I couldn't believe that that was him. Haven't laid eyes on him in 2 years. He came right up the ridge and kind of messed around a bit, went out into the field in front of me, and actually then circled back in and hopped the fence and came in and gave me about a 23, 25 yard shot, somewhere in there. I was set at 25. I stopped him, you know, he looked right up at me, and I stuck him, and I know the shot was maybe a little high, but it cleared right through him. He went out in the field in front of me and was at about 71, 72 yards with his hind end looking right at me. So I couldn't get another shot there, which, you know, I'm glad I didn't shoot, because he circled back around into me and bedded down about 80 yards to my north. And I just sat and watched him, and he actually laid his head down. And then there was a couple does that came in, and they were kind of investigating him and whatnot, and he got back up again once they kind of went up. I mean, they went right up to him. But he couldn't move very well, and he was real hunched. His back was arched, and he kind of laid back down again. And, you know, then does kind of were still milling around, so he tried getting up again, and you know, he did, and he kind of just went over the bench, and I kind of lost sight of him. I saw some trees and some branches kind of moving, so my guess is he bedded back down. It's about 12:15 now, so we've given him about 5 hours, and we're gonna head in real slow, real quiet, and locate that arrow and try to get a read on the arrow of where the shot actually hit, and you know, how bad he's wounded. I know he's hurt, and I got a real good feeling that he's mortally wounded, but you know, he's a big deer, and he's not going to give up without a fight. So we're gonna go in and see what we can find out, and hopefully we're coming out with a nice big buck. So we'll just get on it and see what we can find.
Look, Sliver. He's probably not too far away. Oh, he'd be just right over here.
That's mine.
His first bed was where? You got a better angle going that way.
Well, the only thing that stand I'm talking about follows this bench all the way around.
I don't know how far down is it.
Straight 100 yards that way. But I don't know. I mean, I got half a mind to just sneak up in there. I mean, it's been 5 hours. I don't know.
The fence line goes like this, right?
What?
That fence stays right here.
Yeah, it goes straight down like that. He's probably on the other side of
This
this.
is always that high, though.
It drops down.
Alright.
It's all broken down.
If we go real quiet, get up there. We'll just watch you for a little bit, but I think he's done.
I think so too.
Give me some. Nice job. That's it right there, brother.
I could never imagine being able to shoot something like that. I'm just working my butt off out here for 5 years. Oh my God. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Congratulations. I don't think he's going anywhere. So.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna zoom in on him quick. And if it doesn't move by the time you get to that, Jerry, you're good.
Oh my God. Look at his neck. Look at that thing.
How's that feel after a few years, brother?
Oh my God.
That's a giant. That's Wolverine, right?
Yeah. Let's see, 2016, maybe 15. I know 16 was the first year I got a picture of him. And the first picture I got him was only just these 3 tines sticking up in front of the camera. And the only thing I could think of when I saw that picture was it looks like Wolverine. Wolverine's, claws. So I've been calling him Wolverine, and I'm not really into naming deer, but I named this one. And 2017, he ran this ridge. I mean, mainly this ridge from mid to late October and into November, and he broke off his whole right side. All he had was his main beam, and I had 2 chances I could have shot him, and I didn't, because he was all broke off. And last year I thought he was a different deer, and I got a couple pictures of him early September, and then there was another buck that just had a split right here that was real big and heavy just like him, and I never got eyes on him. I got pictures of him all the time at night, and then daylight pictures after we got home from North Dakota, and never saw him then. And then I started in July, after my wedding, my daughter and I started driving around in Glasson, and we saw that one from last year and this one and 2 others that were about the same size across the road. And I got a ton of film through my spotting scope with them, and I just remember my daughter saying, well, I'm going to take that one and you can have him. And I didn't have any pictures of him over here until October 16th. I was leaving in the morning, and my camera went off at 6:45, and I knew it was him right away. And then that day he showed up on this ridge, and I was at soccer practice with Marlo, and at 5:30, and then he just kept showing up, and he kept showing up. And last week I was checking cameras, and it was 11:30, and he walked right next to me at 15 yards grunting and laid down next to me. And it was midday. It was 60 degrees last Sunday. Today it's not even, it's maybe 40.
Not even.
And we've had snow all week, but I didn't get any more pictures of him until last night. He showed up in my bean field in my sugar beets and radish field that I got on the other side of the property, and he showed up 15-20 minutes later after I got out of the stand. So I knew he was probably just sitting up there watching me. And then at 10 o'clock I got another picture of him, and I woke up this morning. I wasn't sure if I was going to go. We had east winds, but I had tons of pictures of him. And I told my wife, I said, he's out, he's moving. And we had a southeast wind, east wind, which usually isn't good out here, but the stand up top, that I set that stand up there 2 years ago for him, because he always ran that little pinch point, and he's bottlenecked in within like 20 yards, 25 yards, And this morning I just said, I'm gonna go sit up there. Marlo's got a soccer game at 11, see what happens. And I mean, it wasn't 7 o'clock, and I looked down the ridge, all the way down at this ridge down here, and he was he was down and all these dead trees moving. And I you know, first time I got glass on him, you know, in 2 years besides, you know, in the summer. And I was almost just, I couldn't believe it. He was coming up the hill. And I'm like, he's going to give me a shot. And he ran out in the field for a while and just kept circling around. And then he ran back and he stopped and he got downwind with me and he stopped. And I'm like, oh, that's it. Well, he kept going and he went about another 15 yards. I drew back and I stopped him. He looked right at me and I stuck him, and I knew the shot was a little high and a little back, which it was. He went out in the field 70 yards and stood there, and I wasn't able to get another shot. But then he circled back around and bedded down behind me about 60, 70 yards and just laid there until some does came through. And he got up and I could see, I mean, he was hurt real bad. And he went back down again, and he got back up, and he went back down, and then I lost him just over the top of the hill here. And that's when, you know, Karl would said that he'd come out, and I was like, yes, please come out, so I don't screw this up. And I got out of the stand and waited for Karl, and we went out and saw his brother-in-law's great deer this morning, and I'm so thankful that we waited and waited and waited, and I just can't believe it. I mean, I have been on this land for a little over 5 years. It's actually my wife's now, my wife's. And I started working at, you know, no equipment, nothing, just little food plots, grow and throw, and, you know, started getting into it a little bit more. And it's just a 40-acre, you know, parcel really. And we're right on the edge of town, and I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And been hit with CWD real bad, but, you know, it's been bouncing back, and I can't believe that the deer around here, I mean, I just can't even believe this. I really don't have anything to say. I'm just in shock. I never would have thought I'd be able to shoot a deer of this caliber, and especially on my own land, and, you know, something that I've worked when it was raw and got it to what it is, and that just makes it so much more. I'm just
fruits of your labor, brother.
I just can't, and I can't thank you enough.
Hey, yeah, you're welcome.
For everything with bows and equipment and coming out here, and
that's what friends do, brother.
Dude.
Congratulations. That's a giant. That's a great deer.
You know, and I can't wait to text my dad. And I've been wanting to text him all morning, but I didn't.
We'll get some good pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. We got to get him out of here.
Well, we'll take some good pictures right here first.
We'll hopefully hit the farmer up. He'll let us come down here, I'm sure, and get him out. Otherwise, I'm pretty brave in a four-wheeler, so I've been down here before in it. We'll get him out. And just thanks to my wife, I mean, for putting up with me all these years of deer hunting and everything. And thanks again, Karl, and just, you know, everybody at Rush Outdoors. And I couldn't be any happier. This is great. It's November 3rd, you know, and the last, I don't know, I've put not a ton of time in this year. I've been real careful about where I sit and when I sit. And I mean, in the back of my head, all I've thought about is this deer and almost, you know, nothing else. There's maybe one other deer I've seen that I was hoping I wouldn't see, because I just kept thinking, like, when it gets to gun season, I won't see him until next year if he survives. And it was really, this is the only deer I've wanted this year and wanted to shoot, and even for more than just this year. And it's a hell of a story. It's something, man, it's something you can't describe. Well, we finally got him out of the ravine, or whatever. We went in and found him, obviously, and we got him out, which was a lot more work than it looked like it was supposed to be, but it worked. And again, thanks, Karl. We
put the score tape on him. He came just about 162, and like I said earlier, I don't really have words for this. You know, we've just been sitting here talking about it and talking about just everything with owning land and, you know, finding a deer and watching it grow up and actually then being able to harvest it and, you know, everything that goes with it. And I mean, it's just a beautiful thing. And I mean, I really don't have a lot of words to describe the actual feelings of, you know, when I think about everything. You know, this deer's been on my mind since 2016, and now he's in the back of my truck right now, and he's at my house, and I just couldn't be more happy, and I couldn't be more happy to share this with Karl and then be able to, you know, show everybody and, you know, just talk about, you know, the whole works with hunting and working your land and then harvesting and then enjoying it. I mean, it's unbelievable, and it's a great feeling. I couldn't be more grateful.
Congrats.
Thanks, buddy.
You bet. Wisconsin. And I got home from work and rushed over here near my house. It's a little bit warmer today. It's 52 degrees. Got a northwest wind. He blows my sun straight out over my shoulder here out in the open. Hill drums all behind me. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fresh scrapes right here in front of me. A little bit of a staging plot. This is the coal man plot. We're in here looking for DAs or a brawler. I haven't decided if I should brawler yet or not. He looks like a really good 3-year-old. He's a 3-year-old, so I will make that decision when it comes to full draw. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, yesterday I checked the cameras in here. A lot of action. Deer coming in, a lot of morning activity. So I'm not sure what'll happen tonight. You never know. I'm not sure how far away they're running. It seems like they're spending a lot of time on this part of the property. On the other side of the property or up top, I'm not seeing a lot of sign. The cameras aren't showing a lot of pictures. I'm sure that'll start to move around here. But there's another big 8-pointer in the mix now. Looks like a really nice deer. I have to see him too. We'll see what happens. But like I said, 52 degrees. Rained all this morning. Hoping these deer come back and check these scrapes. I can't really tell if they've been here already or not. But like I said, we got the northwest winds. Those are signed away from the scrapes. We'll see what happens. He's probably going to come downwind to see what happens. Stick around. It's just gonna be a good time here anyways. Good news is I think I just shot DAs. Bad news is I think I double punched record. So that is not good. He sounds like he crashed over here. I am somewhat excited, somewhat upset. I did have the Tacticam running, but it's pretty dark, so I don't know what that's seeing. So, anyhow, we're going to get down, we're going to check our area.
It's kind of a cluster. It was about 6 minutes before shooting light, and I went to put the camera and everything away, and put the camera, just put it in the bag, turn around, and there he is coming into this food plot. And he went up the scrapes, and you'll see what I got on camera with my handheld, and then the rest is going to be the Tacticam. So we'll see what happens. I believe it's a buck I call DAs. Either way, he's big, and it's either him or Brawler, but I'm pretty sure it's DAs. Anyhow, he came out right about where the arrow is, probably about 23, 24 yards. Put a pretty good shot on him. Let's go look at the arrow, and then we'll follow blood from there. I don't think he went very far because I heard him kind of crash. So we'll see. I'm expecting about 50 yards that. Yeah. So bright red and bloody. Shooting the Black Eagle Rampage this year with the QAD Exodus on the front of it, which I believe to be the best broadhead on the market right now. And then a new Fletch lighted knock. So we're going to see if we can pick up some blood here quick. Watch things run this direction. And, hopefully, blood. Hey guys, we've been following the blood trail a little bit. We lost it back there about 100 yards. We figured to kind of cut up to this mowed path. This is the trail I use to get in and out of the property. And found blood right here, really dark red. Like I said, I'm assuming back hit, liver hit. and we're going to move forward from here. There's a deep ravine over the hillside here. Maybe he's down in there. We'll check it out, see what happens. But I can kind of smell deer, you know, like the scent of deer. So I'm assuming he's probably pretty close. So let's go. What's going on, everybody? I'm Carl from The Obsession. It is now officially October 16th. Last night I shot this buck. It was about 5-6 minutes before shooting light when he came in. I had actually decided, because it was so cloudy, that I was going to shut everything down. We were losing light pretty quick, so I have a little bit of footage of him coming down. But he comes into the scrapes. Could have shot him at 14 yards. Turns out he ends up kind of picking me out because I was messing around trying to get mow ready and cameras, and it was a cluster. So this is a buck I call Brawler. Recently showed up on the property. He's pretty good size. He's a nice looking deer. He's 11 points, typical frame. But anyhow, I put a shot on him and hit him a little bit back. I thought it was further forward than it was, so my wife and I came over last night and we found blood. I found a bunch of dark blood. Decided at that point we were going to back out. We did. We came back in this morning. My boss was nice enough to let me have a couple hours off. I don't work too far from where we are. And I think it took Kathy and I probably about 45 minutes to find him. She had a really good idea about going up on the main trail and kind of coming around. She just didn't come around as far as I did. I found a bunch of blood. And then he came down, and I talked to Matt, a buddy of mine from Richland Center area. He said that they'd head for water. Well, he comes down into this washout area, and he ended up dying right here where you see him. He's probably in the 140s. Really nice looking deer. I'm happy. Tag is filled, so we'll have him tested for CWD and see what happens. But big body. Right now the deer here in Wisconsin are hitting scrapes really hard. That's what this deer did. He came right to scrapes and ended up being the end of him. So thanks for watching The Obsession. We'll get with you guys later. Well, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed those two hunts. A couple really nice bucks. Fortunate enough to take one myself, and Shawn Devitt's buck, that thing was just an absolute giant. And you can see how thrilled Shawn was to take his deer. He puts a lot of effort, a lot of time in on that property to get it to where it was. Took him 5 years to get it to where he wants it to be right now. And obviously, just like anybody else who has property, you're sitting in the stand and you're thinking about what you're going to do next year to try and improve it even more. But that was a great story with Wolverine, and just happy to be part of it and come out and film it for him. So within the next couple weeks, like I said, this week coming up, I'm going to be out west in North Dakota. When I get back, I'm going to try and fill my tag, a gun tag, with my bow using the Wisconsin lesser weapon rule. I'm going to try and use my vertical bow and see what happens. I got a whole week off for doing that. Hopefully we'll be able to take another awesome whitetail here in Wisconsin with my bow. Like I said, please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all you guys' support. We can't do it without you guys. We also want to thank all of our partners for over the years that we've been spending with them. You know, you're looking at 15 years of us filming just for this show. You know, we appreciate talking to everybody. When you guys have questions and stuff, hopefully we fulfill your answers and get the stuff out. But we appreciate you guys watching, appreciate you guys having positive input. So thanks for watching The Obsession. I'll see you guys in another 2 weeks. Be sure to check out some new hunts from the boys up in Minnesota. We're going to show you a few buck hunts from those guys. So thanks for watching.